no preparation. Just gonna let it happen. Yikes. Christian just aged himself 10 years easily. Easily. What's up, Christian?
Dude, what's up, man?
We haven't done this in a long time. I'm so excited.
I know, dude.
Sam threw a wrench into the system, and now she's gone. She's gone.
I don't think she threw a wrench, but she is just at another work obligation.
I feel like a wrench in the system is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like a change-up.
It just happens.
She's like a change-up. She's like a pitcher, like a pinch pitcher. Pinch pitcher? Relieving pitcher. Don't give me that look.
I don't know.
She's like, oh God, here we go. Anyway, what's up, Christian?
Not much, dude. How you been?
Been good. Back from Super Bowl. I feel like we can finally just like breathe after the.
Dude, I feel like the last couple of months have just been insane.
I feel
from like holidays to the snow to the Super Bowl. I was like feeling like shit last week.
Yikes!
And that was awful.
I feel like my life surrounds by football.
I don't feel that at all.
I definitely I feel like as soon as fantasy football comes into my life, I'm like, oh my God, gotta watch it.
And I've never like pictured you being that person. This is the first year I've ever seen you do fantasy and like even slightly talk about it.
Well, it's because our like family fantasy broke down with Bond Street's demise. That was where I ran most of the fantasy love for a long time.
I guess that makes sense.
Beating Mike Donovan has so much advantage for a while. And then when he wins, he's awful.
Dude, I bet you he's incredibly happy today. If we got to ask for any favors, today would be the day.
So one year he did the whole like, yeah, I'm good for it. I'm good for it. And then all season long, I don't know why I let him keep going. All season long, he's like, nah, I'm good for it. I'm good for it. And then he won. And I was like, dude, I hate you so much.
What do you mean I'm good for it?
Like, he didn't pay at the beginning of the season. He's the only person that didn't pay into the league, and I was, dismayed.
I feel like you got to be booted out at that point.
That's what happened year 2. I was like, we're not doing this again.
Like, that's kind of fucked up. And then you win. You're like, pay up, bitches.
That's exactly what happened. It was very annoying.
You basically robbed a bank.
Basically. Basically.
What did you think of the Super Bowl?
Speaking of robbing a bank, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I'm most curious to hear your feedback on the halftime show. And I say it because you're a audiophile. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm not a huge I'm not into today's rap. I know there's beef between Drake and Kendrick. I think it was more of like a statement of that, but also I think it speaks on like the culture that I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good.
Culture.
I don't understand enough about how to say it. I don't understand enough about the agenda, if you will.
Okay.
Like the complexity between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
I don't think it was just that, though.
But there was something about like Drake is with the man and Kendrick Lamar represents the people, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
No.
You're not gonna catch me saying something weird, but
I also think it like that whole performance was like really hammering in on like black culture, like their history, and then like tying it into the United States, and then like
I don't have a problem with it at all.
And it also kind of I guess goes to Drake. I was actually kind of poking fun at it. Earlier today, like Drake's like the big pharma of rap. Like he's like this big, like corporate dude. And like take this with a grain of salt. Like I'm not into rap, but like I've heard he doesn't write all his shit. Does anybody? I don't know.
I don't really understand. Like all of a sudden T Swift comes out, she writes all of her own songs, and everybody's like, you have to write your own songs. But like, did anybody? For the longest time,
I don't know.
I don't know well enough, but I know enough singers that had songwriters that it was like a big deal when you got these people that were singer and songwriter. So I'm not like a music person, but I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a good performance. It seemed pretty well put together. I liked that Serena Williams was there. Like randomly.
that was a vibe. She's cool. And then who else was there? Samuel Jackson. He was
Yeah, I didn't understand his like MC of the whole thing, but I think at the end it started to come together for me, and it made a lot of sense. But I think it was very politically challenged, and I think,
I don't know.
Good all around.
It was neat.
Good.
Like I'm not a Drake fan. I'm not like a Kendrick fan. Like I don't really listen to them too much here and there. People I feel like either love or they hate that song "Not Like Us." I think it's kind of a vibe sometimes.
I definitely think
I'm not one that overplays it, so I'm not sick and tired of it like probably the rest of the population. So I'll still get down in my car, like just vibing to it while I'm driving to a showing, you know?
Goose and then they're not like us.
I'm headed to my, have you ever seen the meme of like, I'm headed to my 9 to 5 driving, but then you're just, rapping to gangster rap the whole time, like, I'm gonna kill motherfucker, like whatever, and then like you pull up to your just desk job, you're just like typing away.
That's
like,
definitely not you. I just imagine like you and Chef Bisker driving to work, like, do.
Yeah, honestly. And then they played Goose during one of the like transitions to commercial and Grateful Dead, which was really cool.
Which I don't understand, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
The guys that run the booth. What's the TV program that runs.
I thought it's
CBS.
I don't know. I thought it was Fox last night who ran.
There's somebody that runs those
Super Bowl,
like the channel or the production, and they have like a tent or like a trailer or something set up, and they always have like kind of like a soundboard like this, but it's way bigger. And they have like a million different songs you can choose from. But he'll make a video, like his buddy will come in. He's like, "Oh, Mike, what are we playing today here for this commercial?" He's like, "I got a little bit of blank queued up," and then bam, they hit it, transition to commercial. It's really neat. So I'm hoping they recorded it for Goose, because that would be a really, really cool thing for them.
Maybe not. Maybe no one will ever know the difference.
It made its way to Reddit like that.
Yeah, because Goose people. I have no comments.
I mean, what do you want from us? All right, let us live our life, please, man.
I feel like that's a Goose song. Let us live.
No, it's not.
It's like what was the song? Hootie and the Blowfish. Let Her Die, right?
Let Her Die. That
Let Her Die.
That seems like such a terrible title for a song. Let Her Die. There's like Let Her Go.
Let Her Go.
Let Her Die.
I don't know.
God.
I'm telling you. Let Her Go.
You're not.
Song by Passenger. Is that it?
Well, I think it is a song by Passenger, but there's another one I think by Hootie and the Blowfish that's like.
Oh, we have a copyright strike now.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, strike the music.
But anyways, what do you think of the actual game?
It's actually not the song that I was thinking of for reference. The game, I don't know, awful, terrible Super Bowl.
I will say I'm glad the Eagles won.
For all of our Eagle fans out there, glad that they won, I guess. For those of us that were looking for the three-peat to be kind of like one and done, I thought that was kind of cool. For those of us that are Ravens fans, it was a sad day for everyone. I think that either the Ravens or the Bills would have played significantly better. And, I'm
the biggest Kansas City hater. I'll admit it. Fuck them. I'm not a fan. They're probably great people, but can't stand you, Patrick Mahomes. You... a little whiny bitch. I'll say it. There we go.
Yikes.
And I'll leave it at that.
Little bleep.
Any takes there, Mike?
I don't have any hate for... to be honest, I grew up watching Tom Brady, and I remember like the tuck rule became a thing. Everybody's Tom Brady's such a whiner, and I'm like, I mean, is he? Like he's petitioning to get his play. So is Tony Romo. Caught myself on that one. I just don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with what's happened. I don't see the wrong with the calls. I think it's funny. I get the assimilation, but dudes be doing what they do.
No, did you see? I think Post Malone had like a pregame show somewhere, like again with like one of the studios there at the game, like how like at Ravens they'll have like a little stage set up and like two friends will do some shit. Well, I think Post Malone had something like that, and he said, I wrote this song about the Kansas City Chiefs and the refs, and it was I had some help. Did you see that clip?
He did. It was a Post Malone Super Bowl thing.
Everybody started laughing as they started playing the song. Man, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. I kudos to everybody that makes their way there, and way better than anything I could ever do. So I don't have any shit to talk about it, to be honest with you.
If you get this $6.9 million listing, that would be pretty significant.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe I could be considered for a Super Bowl win if I get one listed.
Get a ring for that listing.
Get a ring. Jeez. No.
And a trophy.
No. If I were to sell a $6.9 million house, I could buy a house though. That might be different.
Yeah, and I guess this is a pretty decent segue
Boom.
into
not life-changing money.
It is life-changing money. That is crazy. All right, hey, Liv, opinion. What would be life-changing money?
Hot take.
Like what?
All right.
Like is $100,000
Yep.
life-changing money?
That's the first question.
It's $250,000.
First of all,
$500,000. No, $500,000 is not life-changing money.
Here's
it's
the question.
$1 million.
Wait. Here's the question. Wait.
No?
Wait.
We need
Here's
more people. This is
what
terrible example. This is
qualifies
turned
in your
off.
mind as life-changing money?
Never work again. That's life changing.
I can't be mad. To be honest, that's a good description. I can't be mad about it.
Okay, I understand that.
We're in the hundreds of millions for life changing.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. All right, that's a little excessive.
I want to end the podcast now, and I'm leaving.
All right, Christian's going home.
Dude, that
Anyway,
hundreds of millions.
So here's my sentiment.
You don't think you could never work another day if you had $1 million?
No.
Oh, are you insane?
No, I'm not insane.
Christian's like, I could eat ramen noodles. We're like, yeah, you'd get bored.
You're king ramen noodle. What do you mean?
How much money do you need to retire?
How
It's like
much money
$15
do
million.
you need to retire?
I'm just saying, if you gave me $1 million right now,
in Maryland,
In there, sure.
to retire in Maryland, you may need between $924,720 and $1.150
You're not far off.
$948 million. But that's
If
at
you're telling-
retirement age.
if you tell me,
65 year to die at 69.
bro,
Maybe.
you could probably get $1 million, work a part-time job, and be fine.
All right, let me tell you. My perspective on life-changing money.
Liv wants $100 million so she can buy an island
that
and then
alters
say, "I'm not
the way that you live. Money that alters the way that you live, and I think that maybe $500,000 would do that for you.
Life-changing money.
But $100,000 alters the way you live today, but it doesn't alter the way you live for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Life-changing money.
But it's not. I don't know. We had this conversation earlier today and yesterday, but you're looking so deep at life-changing money.
I'm a deep looker. I'm like a microscope into psychology.
I think.
Why is Sam not here today? This is
If
the
you
day
brought-
that she
if
decides not to
someone-
come?
Like we talked about it earlier. If someone brought me a briefcase of $100,000,
Yes.
pay off my car,
Yes.
pay off my taxes,
Yes.
and I'd have a
And buy a house.
pretty sick down
Got it.
payment on a house.
But it doesn't change the way you live.
I'm okay, but also okay. I don't want you to use life-changing money. I want you to say, I want enough money so I can say fuck everything else and I'm not doing anything ever.
Let me ask you a question.
That is not true.
Let me ask you a question.
That is not
Hot
true.
take right now, right? So you got a bunch of money, a lot of money. It was worth a buttload of money, right? Like you got so much money, it altered your life, okay? Now, would you say it's possible to have life-changing sex?
Yeah. What?
I don't understand it. I guess in theory, under that logic, like it could change the way that you look at things, maybe. But my thought process was like you go through something one time, it's impossible to change your life, right? It's kind of like when I went to go see Tony Robbins, which, by the way, if anybody ever has a chance to go see Tony Robbins in person, you should go because he's getting old guy.
What do you mean? Okay.
But it was a life-changing experience because of the actions that I created after it. So taking the information, taking the knowledge, taking the opportunity, and changing my life. I was the one that changed my life. The experience in and of itself by merit didn't do anything for me. So $100,000 isn't going to change my life because it's not going to help me create actionable change for the future, in my opinion. Now, maybe it could. I mean, you could invest $100,000 and get like a 5% return and get $5,000 a year for the rest of your life, and that'd be a good investment. But it's just not changing my life. I don't know. I just think, like, when I talked to my grandma when I was younger, and she said something to me, and it made me start thinking to myself, like, what do I need to live comfortably? I always said, this is my number. My number was $60,000. If I make $60,000 and I have a partner that makes $60,000, I can live a happy, comfortable life. That was what I said. Now, this is 20 years ago, but maybe 15. But still, it was the way that I internalized this statement. I don't think that $100,000 should change my life. I just don't think so.
I think it would.
I don't think so.
It's all about perspective.
You can't even buy a starter home.
I'm trying. And I was going to mention that. You know what I've realized over the last week and a half, 2 weeks about trying to buy a house as a single individual? Is that it fucking sucks.
Rant over.
It
Jeez Louise.
Sucks, okay? You like whether you make good money or not, having to cover an entire mortgage payment by yourself and still do the things that you enjoy as a
Can I tell you the truest statement? The truest statement is when I bought my house, I had no intention at all.
Can I ask
of
something?
Being the only person paying the mortgage.
You had no intent.
Zero.
Okay, that's how I feel going into most homes, but like the offer that I put on the house in Hamden, I wouldn't want to rent that.
Well, but my point is that I went in and my mortgage payment initially was going to be, let's say it was going to be $1,800. I don't remember.
How you remember? How much was it?
I want to say that it was like $1,750.
And how much did you buy your house for?
$250.
See,
$252. All right, but wait.
I know your house was in rough shape.
So I bought the house, and my intention was to renovate it and then rent out a room because I was coming from a place where I was paying $600 to live. So $600 to $1,700 didn't make sense to me. I wasn't going to do it. And then I just bought the house with the intention to renovate. And by the time I was done renovating, I'm like, I don't need a roommate. So then I just paid for myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I think times have certainly changed. Like if your house was on the market in the condition that it was in when you bought it, however many years ago, but it was on the market today in that condition, what would it run somebody?
Probably $400.
Right. And a $400,000, even if you do 3% down, you're probably looking at what? Close to
for $400,000.
You're about $3,000.
Buyer can usually find 3 bedrooms and 2 to 3 bathrooms with 1,800 square feet, 2,200 square feet. Some homes with garages or designated parking, and maybe in a row home you could find quartz countertops and smart features like spa-like bathrooms.
Yeah, but
alternatively, in areas just outside the city like Towson or Lutherville, you could find 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom Cape Cod with a nice yard like this one here on Power Street.
Cape Cods are awful.
Oh no, Power Street is right here in the city. Sorry, wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's right here in Hamden. But going back to my original thought is like trying to buy a house as a
single income earner is what we're going after.
Okay. Oh, we all have goals, Mike. Single income earner here.
To be single income earner.
In a house, like it makes things extremely more challenging. And then like I'm a 1099 real estate agent.
But would $100,000 change your life?
Yes.
Lies.
Look at the position that I'm in, and you're telling me it would not change my life. I am driving an hour and a half.
I will say it this way. The guys that work at the McDonald's right down the street. All right. I love McDonald's right down the street. Shout out to McDonald's here in Hamden. This is a community-based podcast. Shout out to the McDonald's here in Hamden. They're awesome. Not only are they awesome, but they're hospitable and they're helpful and they're nice. Guys that work at McDonald's, I constantly think about, like, they deserve a better opportunity. They execute, they're courteous, they're friendly, they say thank you, they say, is there anything else I can get for you? They go above and beyond, and I really like that. I appreciate that about them. But if you give them $100,000, is that going to change their life?
Yes.
Why?
Bro.
They're still going to work at McDonald's, better or worse. Until you make a decision to leave the McDonald's and go seek better employment.
I understand.
Let's just say hypothetically, and I'm not weighing in here, so don't rain on me, people. But let's just say hypothetically, McDonald's was XYZ on the food chain, and Chick-fil-A was one step above, and Home Depot was above that. Until you leave McDonald's and go to Chick-fil-A or go to Home Depot or go to the next thing or go to the next thing, you're not changing your life. The $100,000 is merely a vessel. So if you got tens of millions of dollars, like Liv said, you're retiring.
It's the vessel. It's like how you can get there. How can that not? You're telling me $100,000 couldn't start someone's startup business. It couldn't fund some sort of thing to college.
The $100,000 by nature of it doesn't change your life. The opportunity that it presents, maybe I could give you that. But I think that that's retroactive. I think that $10 million changes every single person's life, period, for better or for worse.
I'm over that.
Or hundreds of millions of dollars, like Liv said. Why don't you just start a Super Bowl pool for $10,000 a square, and then you could get, I don't know, 100 squares, $10,000, you get 10 million. No.
$1 million?
$1 million. Oh, shit, that was hard math.
Yeah.
$1 million. Why doesn't Shane just do that?
$10,000 is a lot of money, though, just to be putting on a fucking square, dude.
You get one square, one winner, $1 million. I feel like that would be.
I'm sorry, I don't have a money tree, people. I don't know about you all, but
I do have a money tree. I don't water it appropriately, and it doesn't have any leaves at the current moment. So,
man,
we need.
It's this winter. It's hitting
maybe
hard.
We should get a money tree in here. Can we talk to Brandon about getting a money tree? Brandon, the flower guy, also local to Hamden, in case you guys need someone.
But anyways, kind of chugging along here, we were like wanting to chat about some of the types of homes you can get in Baltimore, and like something that like I've heard and experienced nonetheless is that like Baltimore is probably one of the most affordable places in all of the United States. Don't know how true that is, but like when I look at buying houses here versus anywhere else, you can still get a $150,000 house today. You can still get a $250,000 house today. You can get some for even cheaper. And I think it presents a ton of opportunity. And what I would say, and like kind of round off the statement with Baltimore, is that you could get anything.
Okay.
You could get anything.
I'm looking here. One of the things that makes this really, really difficult is that Baltimore is geographically limited, unlike almost any other city in the country. So,
what do you mean by that?
Well, let's just use these two cities because I happen to know. Phoenix. Where did I see it? I thought I saw it. Phoenix. The city of Phoenix has a population of 1.6 million people. And the city of Baltimore has a population of 590,000 people. But here's the challenge. The city of Phoenix is kind of loosely defined as other smaller cities. So the city of Phoenix has a region, but then Scottsdale is in Phoenix. And so is North Phoenix. And then you get into the next and the next and the next. And I'm not saying that those areas aren't populous as well. What I'm saying is that Baltimore is limited by a geographically defined area as the county. So if you live on one block in the wrong direction, you're now no longer in Baltimore, as this map would state. So like, let's look.
What's your point though?
Baltimore metro population. Let's look. The metropolitan population in Baltimore is 2.8 million. So every other city in the country except Baltimore and one other are a metropolitan as compared to a limited geographic region.
Okay.
So it's just misleading. I think Baltimore at 2.8 million people in the metropolitan, now we're talking about competing with cities like LA at 3.9 or Houston at 2.3 or Philadelphia with 1.6. Because now you're putting Baltimore in a different echelon. And once you get into that echelon, best city that you could buy a house in, yes, 110% belief. Because the affordability by comparison to these other markets is unbelievably off the charts.
Right.
So in my mind, buying in Baltimore has opportunity that other areas don't. So buying in Baltimore has opportunity like Philly. You can't buy in the city of Philly. They're owned. They're primary residence. They're occupied spaces. Baltimore has vacants. They have opportunities for renovations. They have communities that are going through redevelopment and advancement, both in the city and in the county. Yeah. So for me, definitely.
I mean, I think there is just a whole bunch of opportunity. Like I said before, I think you can get anything that you want. Like we have, again, properties that are $5,000. We have properties that are $1. You can buy a $1 property right now if you want. Hit me up.
Actually, I don't know if they have that open yet.
I don't know. But you have your $100,000 properties. You have your $200,000 properties. You have your to $1 million properties down here, in the city, right? There's, again, really anything that you're looking for, any budget, you have the ability to work within that, right? Now, you can't get a single family home for $100,000 and expect it to be move-in ready, right? But like for any person looking to buy their first house, second house, or just a home in general, even investment property, I think there's opportunity all over the map. You could throw a dart at a dartboard and hit any type of number and you would be able to get something.
Here.
I would say so.
I agree.
Now
once you get out into the counties, it's a little different. Right? If you get out into the counties, you're going to be segregated by, communities they're going to be larger. They're going to have more supporting value. But even in Baltimore County, you could buy a $120,000 row home in Baltimore County. You can also buy a $1.4 million house easily in Baltimore, right? If you go to Howard County, you're probably not buying anything for $120,000, but you're going to be able to find something for $220,000, $240,000, $250,000 in Howard County, one of the best counties in the country. It's shocking. Right? In Montgomery County, you can find things for $180,000, $250,000. I'm not saying that they're going to be highly desirable and what you want to choose, but they're there. And I think that's unique.
I also think it does kind of pose a challenge because those types of properties, like some of them, like knowing Montgomery County for $150,000 to $200,000, the only type of property you're getting into is a condo, and it's sometimes if it's priced at that price point, the condo fee is going to be astronomically high. You might be paying $800 to $2,000 a month for that, right? But
$250.
Again, speaking of like the Baltimore surrounding area, again, I think there's a lot of opportunity. What is your take on the home prices in the area?
Condo. I'm still looking at Montgomery County. They're all condos. Anyway, home prices in Baltimore, I think there's still a good amount of opportunity. I think that it depends on the perspective that you carry. I was just talking about this with one of my clients the other day. The property is great, but the resellability might be a challenge, right? Because the squeeze for a buyer in today's market, maybe we choose something that otherwise we wouldn't choose. Maybe we buy something that's completely renovated at the top of our budget. And if our goal is to leave the community in 2 or 3 or 5 years, that may be a challenge because equity build may not happen quite so quickly. But one of the things that I love about buying here is that there's so much attention happening. There's so many people that are coming to renovate and improve the community that eternally, if you maintain your home, it will continue to grow value.
Did you know that Canton was the number one?
No way.
Again?
What?
Canton had the number one home sales, I think, in Q4 of 2024.
Oh, by quantity.
Yes.
It's one of the biggest neighborhoods in the city.
Yeah, one of the biggest neighborhoods.
I mean, you got neighborhoods in the city that are 2 blocks by 2 blocks.
Yeah. Well, it's just like crazy because every time I think I see that report comes out, Canton is number one.
Yeah, but it's also volume. You get into highest price points and you start to say, oh, well, Roland Park has the highest price point. Well, yeah, because every house in there is 900 plus.
Right.
But you get into neighborhoods like Northwood, right? Original Northwood, and you can really start to aggregate some volume, but it's only so big.
Yeah.
I think the thing that makes Baltimore unique is that there are so many different dynamics. There's not one central style. On my search here, I came across Austin. Austin, Texas has a very unique design. It's a unique city where, from my experience, everything kind of hones around the center and kind of migrates out. And as you go out, you get into like little sub neighborhoods, but ultimately everything feeds back to the city. Right. And the thing that's interesting about Baltimore is that there's lots and lots and lots of neighborhoods with, small shopping centers and community medical facilities and otherwise that are all scattered throughout the city. Like, it's not all honed in on the inner harbor.
Now, if there was a neighborhood, I don't want to say a sleeper neighborhood, but like one that you would choose that, take Canton, Fells Point, Federal Hill, Hamden, Locust Point out of the picture, that you would choose to live in as like...
So mine, I think, is probably easy. And I think it comes down to price point.
Okay.
But I probably end up in one of 2 places. I either end up in Windhurst or Evergreen because I like the green space. I like the detached homes. But I mean, you could get in there for $300,000.
Okay.
They're not the biggest homes in the world. You're going to get into some small 2-bedroom houses, kind of like here in Hamden.
Yeah.
And then the other, I think I probably end up in sort of like the Lake Walker, all the way over to Parkville, that northern end of the city that doesn't really feel like the city.
Okay.
And then the amenities and the highways are easily accessible.
The one place that I really am starting to like, and it's just because one of my clients had purchased a house over there, Sophie Martin, she's technically in Charles Village, but like her house for a first-time home buyer, super cute, 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, little fenced-in back porch, finished basement. Like it is an awesome property, and for a very affordable price point. I would think we closed at $239 there.
I think the difference is I like the green space, and I'm not one of those people that like wants to go out and hike, right? I'm not like that, right? I just like coming home to.
He's a county boy.
Yeah, I definitely like coming home to a peaceful space, especially in my old property. It was off of a main road, and you pull into my property, and it's just like peaceful, tall green trees, lots of grass, and peaceful. And I think that there's something about Charles Village that's a little bit too Brooklyn, New York for me. Yeah. It's beautiful if that's the vibe that you're looking for. It's just for me, it wouldn't be my number one.
Like, just for my own home search, but I want like the city life, to walk out my front door and walk to a bar, restaurant, sandwich shop.
Yeah, and there's areas in Charles Village that definitely create that.
And so that's really my draw to it. And then it had the affordable price point. So, the house that she got was absolutely amazing. Low key, a little jealous, but super happy for her.
All right, here's a question for you. As it pertains to kind of like the future growth and development, the advancement of our city, and sort of being newer as a first-time home buyer, what is one thing that you wish that every first-time home buyer knew as it pertains to community, as it pertains to value, as it pertains to equity and investment?
I think the biggest thing is just go with your gut. Like, there's been times where I'm in a home search, you're like, you should buy this property. And I'm like, no, I'm not buying that. Like, I'm
a bad influence. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but people will know what they want, and then they'll go on YouTube and look up a million different things on like, how should I hashtag? What should I look for? X, Y, and Z. You partner with a great agent going through your property, and you're going to have somebody that has your back, but also will give you their opinion. But like, ultimately, like, we're not buying the house, right? Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like, you got to know your gut feeling. You got to know really what you're looking for and stick with that. And ultimately you're going to be happy. Right. So like, that's my biggest piece of advice to give to people. And like, I'm really feeling it as a first time home buyer myself. Over the last 4-ish years, I've helped how many people buy a house? Probably close to 80 at this point.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might be closer to 100.
Yeah, and like, I haven't had the ability to go through that process yet myself, and I am going through it now. So like, I'm like, oh shit, this is what people feel when they go through it. Like, it is scary, a little scary. It is a little stressful, and you don't know, like it is a huge decision, and like, a ton of responsibility that I've never had before. And so it makes the choice of like, hey, which home's gonna be right for me a little more challenging. I know me, Christian, what my non-negotiables are, but still the ability that like, or like not the ability, but the fact that I'm gonna spend $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, whatever that number is over a 30-year period. You're gonna spend more, but like, it's just, I don't know. You got to go with your gut. You got to know what your non-negotiables are, and you got to stick with that. Don't go left and right, then up, then down.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of the same thing.
Like buyer fatigue almost. Like information overload will hurt you more than anything.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with focusing on equity. I don't have a problem with focusing on cash. I don't have a problem with focusing on your monthly payment or, the investability of the community. I also don't have a problem focusing on style and color and shape. But I have a problem when you don't know what you're focusing on.
Yes.
Right? So if you're focusing on equity build, then don't tell me that it's not in good enough condition, because the way to build equity is to make it pretty.
Right.
And if you're focusing on, style, color, and shape, don't tell me that the monthly payment is too much. You qualify for a certain monthly payment. You're comfortable with a certain monthly payment, and we're only going to put you in front of a home that has those qualifying criteria. Don't turn around and be like, oh, well, but if it was only $10,000 cheaper. Well, yeah, but then if it was $10,000 cheaper, you wouldn't like the way that it looks. So Get hyper clear on what you're looking for. And I think that would help people understand the value of buying in Baltimore in the first place. Because if you tell me like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 or 4 years, I'm like, yeah, neither do I. Right? Like, are you going to have a kid?
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on. You know, you're talking like you're planning your life, but the truth is that the reason that you don't know where you want to be is because you're afraid. You're afraid of committing to it. And so I think ultimately when it comes to investability, I think Baltimore is a great investment. It's a great opportunity, but you have to be ready and willing to accept that. So,
yeah, boom. It is a big step.
Boom.
You know, life-changing.
Oh my
It's not
goodness.
life-changing money. It's a life-changing choice. But anyways, want to thank you guys for tuning in. We didn't even talk about our upcoming events real quick, so I want to plug those in before we roll. We have a home buyer brunch coming up on February 22nd.
Next Saturday.
Is it next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
It is next Saturday. And right before that, on that same day, we have a seller seminar going over the home selling process, what it means to sell a home here in 2025. So if you haven't already, sign up for that. It's going to be a great event. We're going to be having it at the Middle River Recreation Center in Middle River, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Mike,
and thank you guys so much. We have a local business owner coming on next week. If you know someone who'd love to be featured on our podcast or somebody that we could talk about on our podcast, hit us up at Instagram at the Baltimorons. The underscore. Yeah. The _ Baltimorons. You can always reach me on Instagram at michael.frank___, or you can reach us on our website at frankoliverco.com.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Christian the Deadhead.
Thanks. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.